Good morning and welcome back to the channel. It is crazy o'clock. It is, well, it's 1:15. I was up at 1 a.m. And I'm just outside Pops's house, and I'm here to meet Pops at this crazy unearthly hour, and we're on our way to photograph the Ospreys down at Horn Mill Trout Farm on the River Gouache. I think that's right. It's very early. So come along for the journey and see what I see. Good morning, Pops.
Good morning, son. You sounded a bit weary then.
It is 1:15 in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Come on, let's get your gear in the car.
So me and Pops are in the hide, just waiting now we're all set up. Pops is making the most of all the camera equipment he's got. He's got the Z8 and the Z9. He's got the 70-200 on one camera and the 100-400 on his second camera. I've got the Z9 with a 70-200, and I've also got that, but I don't think I'm going to use it, my 400mm 2.8. I've got a little GoPro that I've positioned outside, and the aim will be, if the Osprey comes, I'll set that running and then try and capture some slow-mo of the Osprey diving into the water. Because in all honesty, my focus today will be on stills, not on video. Give us a wave, Pops.
Morning.
Been in the hide now for half an hour, and we've got two heron that are hunting either side of the pond. One's just caught a trout, took it off, the other one flew over to harass it and try and steal it from him. And we've also got a red kite, and the red kite has been circling over the top of the water. Now what's quite special here is the red kite will actually take the fish off the top of the water. They're predominantly looking for dead fish that are floating on the surface, but they have been known to take live ones as well. The light's just starting to get better now. The GoPro pocket is a little bit misleading in that it's in low light mode, so it's gathering as much light as possible. It makes it look really quite bright in here when actually it's still quite dark. Still too dark for photographs, but I'm able to capture some video.
I can see this at the far end of the pond, having a good look, still quite high. Getting a bit lower. Still above the pond. Still quite high.
We've got no eyes on him.
He's probably actually more or less above me now, coming back towards top of the pond, having a bit of a swoop about.
Yeah, we got him.
Thank you. Far end of the pond, coming in lower. Could dive from there. Back at the far end of the pond, to the left, above the willow tree. Lower, diving, possibly, pulled out. He's to your left, above the field. Now, quite high, at about 11 o'clock. Above the willow tree, still quite high, but hovering. Now around the far end of the pond, coming in lower. Above the trees to your left. And he's diving. Possible where he's got a fish. He's coming behind the pond to your left, quite low.
No fish caught.
Thank you. Circling the field to your
It's just
left.
been incredible. Most of it. It's
Back
been
over
with
the
us for
tree.
probably an hour now.
Back over the far end of the pond. Hovering above the far end of the pond. He's above the willow now. Back over the willow, back over the far end of the pond.
Just there. He's done about 4.
Again, the far end of the pond, coming in again, low at the top end of the pond. Headed towards the oak tree and is perched on the oak tree. Can you see him?
Yeah, we can see him.
Good. I'll leave him with you for the moment.
So he's perched just in the top of the oak tree at the end of the pond. He's probably got a very good vantage of the water from there and can actually launch a dive straight from the perch.
Quite low over the oak tree. Now hovering above the willow, heading back towards the pond.
He must have done about 5 false dives, or pulled out at the last minute. Coming in again.
Now around the far end of the pond, coming in lower. Above the trees to your left, and he's diving.
So there you go, Pops. I've obviously experienced the Ospreys diving, Aviemore Osprey and at Loch Lomond Osprey. That's your first Osprey, isn't it?
First one. Absolutely awesome. Fabulous experience. We worked hard for it though, didn't we?
We certainly did.
How many times did he pull out?
I mean, it was quite a bit different from my previous experiences because they were pretty much in, grab and gone. This one did a dive early on and caught no fish, and then dived about 5 or 6 times and pulled out of the dive each time. Has perched twice on the oak tree opposite, and then finally dived right at the end and caught a trout. The trout was actually facing backwards when it came out of the water, and it was T7, which is the dominant. Is it the dominant male?
Dominant
Male of the area. So yeah, really, really exhilarating stuff.
It was. I think I'll have a cigarette now.
A Twix-shaped cigarette, I hasten to add. So we've had another Osprey arrive at the same time as the red kite has been circling, but it seems to have moved off again. This would be the 3rd bird we've had visit. Only one of the birds has dived into the water, dived in twice and caught a fish on one occasion. Kite's back. So the red kite's back in front of us.
Oh, so there you have it.
Is being calculated.
Sorry. I didn't know. Does it on
Please follow
purpose.
the road for Horn Mile.
He does it on purpose. He did it last time. Did this at bloody Castellide. So, probably slightly disappointing.
We had 3 visits from the Osprey, but only one bird actually dived in the water, and dived in twice. Missed on the first one, caught fish on the second one. I think the wind was massively against us. I think they were really struggling, weren't they? Battling the wind.
They were, yeah.
The red kite came in several times, but never came down to the water, did it?
No, not once. I wondered, you know, with the wind going across the water, it was rippling.
Yeah.
So whether they couldn't see the fish because of that.
Yeah, it's quite possible.
I don't know.
Quite possible. Settings wise, I started off the session at about 800th of a second, f2.8. I was shooting in manual with auto ISO, and my ISO was well above 10,000. And then what I've done is throughout the session, as the ISO's dropped, as the lights gained, I've just increased my shutter speed but kept my aperture wide open.
Yeah, I did exactly the same.
Yeah. I think that's probably the best bet. And I used a 70 to 200 for all the shots in the water. I quickly changed over to my 400 for the shots of it perched in the tree. But if I was only to bring one lens, it would be the 70 to 200, I think.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, because you need that 2.8.
You do,
if you're coming for the morning session in particular.
Yeah, maybe if you had a 300 2.8, that might be, you know, an optimal lens.
Yeah.
But yeah, 70 to 200 was absolutely fine, wasn't it?
It was. I mean, the 100 to 400, I set that at 300, and it was f5.
Right.
So that increased my ISO quite considerably.
Yeah, it will do. It will do. But yeah, if you've enjoyed it, please give us a like. If you're not yet subscribed, consider doing so. Thank you to all those people who buy us a coffee. There are some people that buy coffees religiously now, which is absolutely wonderful, and we really appreciate it. So thank you very much for that. If you want to buy us a coffee, there'll be a link at the bottom of the screen. We're both frozen. I always underestimate just how cold they are in hides. And today, with that very biting wind, it got cold really cold towards the end, didn't it?
It certainly did, yeah.
I'm frozen. I've got every item of clothing. I've had a woolly hat in my bag always, a net gaiter. I've got everything on I could possibly manage. So until next time,
Ta-ra!